All right, guys. So I want to share with you one of the most disturbing things you will ever discover, if you have been dealing with a narcissist, whether it is a relationship or whether it is a narcissistic family matrix. These narcissists will make you believe, or they are going to make you feel guilty for something they have done to you. Okay? All right, guys, bear with me. I'm going to explain. Let's say, for example, you live a dysfunctional family matrix. In the early days or weeks, you're going to feel guilty. Have you done the right thing? Should you have been patient? Is there anything you could have changed to make things better? And out of the blue, you will also discover that none of the family members will take your side. So they will not be with you in this whole thing. They will not take your side. They are going to go in meetings, okay? They are going to go there for the meetings, and they're not going to invite you. That is because you have done something that they was not expecting. They wasn't expecting this. They wasn't prepared for this. So they are making you feel that you should be held accountable for the same things that they did to you. Okay? Because I've told you that these people don't take accountability for anything. So they run away from accountability. And when you do decide to detach from that system, they are going to make you feel like you've done something wrong. So they're going to exclude you from everything that is going on in the family. Now, I have personally been excluded from inheritance, a very huge sum of money. We cannot even go into the details of how much money we're talking about. It's a very big sum of money, okay? But I believe one day, at the right time, the universe will reward me, and that money will find its way to me from a different source. You never know. I left a dysfunctional family system because I was unhappy with how the family matrix was being run. The propaganda, the backbiting, isolation of some family members, and I was like, I don't want to participate in this. This thing is too horrible. We are calling ourselves family, but that's not how families are run. You know, that is not how families are supposed to be run. So I stood up for this and I said, okay, listen. So I went against the family norms. I told them, listen, this is not how things should be done. I could see something was wrong, and I talked about it. What I didn't know is that I was triggering a narcissistic injury, because when you hold a narcissist accountable for something you feel is going wrong, they are going to hold you, so they are going to deflect, or what do they call it? They are going to turn around everything to look like you are the one who is crazy, it's you who doesn't see things right, and stuff like that. So I caused a very huge injury. Unknowingly, okay? And then I left the system. A few months down the road, I started experiencing a shift in the family dynamic. Those same things I have been complaining about, which even caused the narcissistic injury, those same things was now put into practice. They couldn't do that when I was in the system. When I left the system, all those things was put into practice. So I'm out there thinking that why all of a sudden are they doing those same things that we was fighting about? Okay? Now, a lot of times, one thing what I've learned about narcissistic people, a narcissist is going to push you to an extent where you are going to be forced to defend yourself. You're going to be forced to push. They're going to push you to the limit. And you're going to be forced to fight back. But you see, the narcissist is not expecting you to fight back. Are you guys following? They're not expecting you to fight back. They want you to just be there like a zombie and just, comply and stuff like that. For them, it's about compliance. You have to comply. If you do not comply, then you're going to become the outcast. Okay? You will eventually be the scapegoat. You have always been the scapegoat anyway. So, if you do not comply, then that's when they are going to start making you feel very bad about everything you have said or anything you have done. And now they are going to show you that whatever it is you are fighting about, it wasn't valid, because now they are going to show you the complete opposite. And they are going to do those same things. Let me give you an example. When you have left a narcissistic individual, you have been in abuse, and you've walked away from abuse. You might have been discussing a lot of things with that narcissist. Okay, we are going to do this. Maybe we shall go on a holiday. Maybe we shall do A, B, C, and D and stuff like that. And they wasn't listening because they're very stubborn people. So you'll be like, okay, you're tired of talking and tired of asking, you're tired of whatever, so you walk away. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. When you do walk away, that narcissistic person is going to get into a new relationship. And they are going to do those same things you have been fighting about for years. You might have talked about things like trips, holidays, vacations to Greece, to Thailand, or to wherever. Or you might have talked about starting businesses, maybe getting a new car, maybe moving to a different home. And they wasn't listening, because that's who they are. They don't listen. And then he was like, okay, you was talking to a zombie. You broke away from this zombie. You said, okay, I'm not going to deal with this. You walk away. Those same people are going to turn 180 degrees, and they're going to start doing the exact same thing that you guys have been discussing for years, but with a new person. So they're in a new relationship, and all of a sudden, you may run into them. Now, personally, when I left, I wasn't bothered with stalking them and checking what they are doing and stuff. I was just doing me. Now you will see them. That same car you wanted to buy, they have bought it. And they are riding around in that new car with a new supply. The same trip you have been fighting about, you have been coiled up in a home for years. There wasn't a holiday. Now they're already on the holiday with the new supply. That same holiday to Greece you have been discussing for years. Now you as a person, maybe you see these things or you hear about them, and you're thinking in your mind, oh, how come that all these things we had planned when we was in that relationship or whatever, all these things we have been talking about that weren't done, now you have left. And now you're seeing them do those exact things with the new supply. So that is where the guilt comes from. In my case, it was a family member that I felt was being excluded from being a part of us. I think that family is family. So at least we should all be together, As soon as I left, ladies and gentlemen, it just took a couple of months. That same family member I'd been talking about returned to the system. So for me, it was a confirmation that all these things I've been talking about for years, it was valid. I was talking about the truth, but I was talking about these things to somebody that wasn't listening. So now you understand where this guilt is coming from. You're starting to be guilty. You're feeling guilty. You're not guilty, but they want you to feel guilty because these people, they want you to believe it is your fault. Whatever has been happening, whatever it is you was talking about, they are going to do those things the very moment you take a decision and you walk away from them. And it is going to be a very bad feeling for the empath because now you're going to see all these things you have been discussing for years, they are being put into practice. But the question is that, why are they being put into practice after you have left? That is exactly where the guilt is coming from. So they are trying to make you feel guilty for the things that they did to you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is important to start to recognize abuse, okay? I know I didn't know personally. Many years I was entangled, I didn't know these things. But as I started educating myself, I could now understand what exactly narcissistic abuse was, okay? So you are dealing with a person that doesn't have a conscience. The conscience will only kick in for a little bit the very moment they figure out you have chosen you and you have chosen to walk away. It is very embarrassing for them. In actual sense, you have caused them a very massive narcissistic injury and they do not know how to deal with this. So they are going to do these things that are going to make you to feel very bad about that decision you have taken to detach yourself from these individuals. Because they believe, by making you feel guilty, they believe that you will change your mind, okay? That black sheep who left the family. So now all of a sudden they are together, they are going for parties, they have these family meetings, and they all put up a show that everything has always been okay because they want you to feel very horrible about you detaching. Don't fall for that crap, ladies and gentlemen. Do not fall for that BS. You know what you saw. The things you've talked about was valid. You had points. They wasn't listening. So anything you see them doing when you have left, that means they are trying to push you in a corner for you to feel guilty about removing yourself from that disrespect because they believe you might change your mind and rejoin that dysfunction, okay? So do not fall for that crap, okay? You are going to, if you have detached, you will go back and the cycle will repeat. You know, you're dealing with the cycle. This is a cycle that is on repeat. It cannot be broken. It is only when the person removes yourself. That is how you break cycles, ladies and gentlemen. All right? So these things happen in so many ways. You can, for example, you could be working in a place, let's say, for example, and you've always told your boss, you know, why don't we do this and this and this in the company? You have had suggestions, which was very important, even for the company. Maybe we need to build this. Maybe we need to improve on the products or improve on the customer care or do this or this. You have been complaining for years and they wasn't listening. And then he was like, okay, this job looks like is a very messed up place. And you don't want to be a part of that crap. You have detached yourself from that system, from the entire work environment. And now out of the blue, it's been 2 weeks down the road and people are telling you that, hey, listen, do you remember that thing we discussed with the boss? They have done it. Now out of the blue, because you have left, they have done it. Now you're feeling guilty because you're like, okay, how come that they have done it when I've already left? When I used to talk about it, they wasn't doing it. Now, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, empaths. I'm encouraging you to continue educating yourself on narcissistic abuse, okay? This is not only narcissism, it can happen in very many areas of our society where people intentionally do things to hurt you. You will be talking, they will not be listening. You will be actually speaking to deaf ears. You will be requesting for a platform, they will never give you that platform. Now you have decided to walk away because it is a lot of disrespect. And the first thing what is going to come into their mind, these people are going to make sure that they pull you into that guilt of feeling guilty because they have done things, very horrible things. Now they have to be held accountable because people are going to ask questions. Why did so and so leave the family? What happened? Why did they come to that decision of leaving the family? Why did they break away? So the narcissist you've been dealing with is now facing a lot of questions. Everybody is asking some questions. And they don't have the answer for that because they do not want to be held accountable. So they are going to go around behind the scenes and start doing those same exact things you have been asking about for years. So do not feel guilty, okay, is what I'm trying to tell you in this video. Do not feel guilty about the decisions that you make. You have to know, ladies and gentlemen, there is a very big life. You'll experience the beauty of life waiting for you out there. The moment you take a decision to walk away from disrespect, the guilt will go, okay? The guilt is just for a matter of a couple of days or weeks. It will go. The more you continue to heal and just focus on yourself and do you, you're going to realize you have made the most important decision of your life, to walk away from anybody that decides or chooses to disrespect you in any way, shape or form. So let us know what you think about the video. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.